Okay, hello. Today I wanted to talk about some interesting text like just ability stuff. I recently found a little weird thing with Maegu. They have an ability called Fox Flare, and it was one of their abilities that like had their protection stripped away, and it's supposed to be punishable now. And there's like no collision on it for whatever reason. And normally with like certain skills and abilities, right, the idea here is it'll usually tell you like no collision while moving. This isn't the first time PA has messed up with like text translations and things like that, or adding certain descriptions to abilities like pulverize, for example. This has no collision on it for whatever reason, but it doesn't specify here like in slashing that no collision while moving. But if we use pulverize, right, I will literally just go right through this guy. Like I'm literally, yeah, it happens. I don't know why it happens, but it happens. Usually things like that are not that big of a deal, especially for warrior, because like if we're hitting you with this, chances are you're probably already on the ground, and no matter what, you're probably gonna die. But when it comes to Maegu, though, that ability is supposed to be punishable, and through these clips right here that I'm gonna put on screen, you can see that I can straight up just walk through blood. Like my boy, I walked through his shit, bro. Like that's ridiculous. How am I supposed to punish him if he basically is in a non-collisioned iframe that I can't hit? I mean, if you look at this clip here, I literally did like balance, which is supposed to be a stiff, by the way, like stiff into overwhelm and reckless, that's 3 cc's. It's supposed to be stiff, float, and then KD. And like right here, this is what it's supposed to look like really fast, really simple, and it's supposed to be punishable. And I usually run core balance because I like the forward guard on it. So it's a good engagement to punish Maegus, and I catch them a lot when they use Fox Flare. But I was wondering why it never seemed to hit appropriately, or I thought maybe I was aiming a little like too far to the side or something, and I went behind them, and I was like, I never thought about it. But then I went into the BA and was messing around with it, and yeah, you can straight up just walk through the Maegu, and if you try to punish them in any way or form, the CCs don't land, things don't hit appropriately, nothing. Like you just literally phase through them, and it's terrible. It's ass. So if that's intended, why? What was the point of stripping their protections, and then they have a non-collisioned iframe that dodges all abilities? Like my boy just turns on the straight up, like he just turns on the iframe, and you just go right through them. It's weird. It's very weird. But like I said, it's not the first time PA has done stuff like that, where mistranslation or forgetting certain words in abilities and things like that. Like I said, slashing the dead, no collision while moving, cool. Pulverize, for example, it doesn't specify that there's no collision whatsoever or anything like that, but for some reason, there's no collision and you can just phase through opponent multiple times. It's weird. Same thing with Tempest. I mean, there's no description here that says no collision. And even for other abilities that are kind of like similar in nature, right? Like for example, if we look at ankle break, we move a little bit forward, right? And it's a bound, of course. But when you do the ability, like you don't phase through them. Like if I do it right next to him, right? There's collision. Like I don't go forward at all. I don't move past him or anything like that. And for some reason, pulverize is just like I quite literally go through them. It's really strange, and it's like that for the prime version too. It doesn't say that there's collision on it, but there's or no collision, but there's no collision. It just you will phase through the opponent. So yeah, I'd like some more context on that, and just expanding on that idea, because I feel like the Maegu one is definitely the most egregious, because that ability that got the protection stripped away, it is supposed to be punishable now, and you still can't punish it because for some reason it has no collision on it, and you will just go directly through it. So hopefully PA sees this, and they'll fix it ASAP. I sent it into a GM, so here's hoping that gets patched as soon as possible, because holy shit, that is really hard to deal with. But yeah, that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.